From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2041, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, December 14th, 2016. As Newsline was going into production, a vote was imminent on the Amateur Radio Parity Act. As Newsline was going to air, a vote was to be held on the Amateur Radio Parity Act, which had passed the House of Representatives unanimously. However, it stalled in the Senate due to a single member, Democratic Senator Bill Nelson of Florida. Unfortunately, he would not budge, and the bill failed to get passed. The ARRL says they will push forward after the new year to get this important piece of legislation passed. We'll be watching this story as it continues to develop. The Christmas season seems to be a natural for amateur radio the world over. I mean, who doesn't want to talk to the big guy up north?
The annual OF9X special event station, an amateur radio world tour that has featured Santa for more than 3 decades, has begun making its rounds from the Arctic Circle. Station operations will continue through the 31st of December, this time featuring Santa and his dozen elves, who not only assist Santa, but double as multipliers for contacts. All 12 will operate as AllFather 9 Christmas, OF9X, and will identify themselves further as elves with an additional 3-letter designation, such as ART for Arto or NIK for Nico. So if you've contacted an elf, you'll hear OF9X/ART or something similar. There are a number of prizes available for different point scores, but no doubt the biggest prize of all for children of the participating amateurs will be the opportunity to win a QSO during Christmas week with the person the website is calling, and I quote, the true and live Santa. Be listening on the bands and believe. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
What's one activity everyone can participate in regardless of handicap or physical ability? Amateur radio, of course.
When members of the Union of Swiss Shortwave Amateurs, the USKA, operated a special event station recently at the Swiss Paraplegic Centre, an emergency and rehabilitation facility in Knotteville, they were grateful for the possibilities. Operators weren't just looking to score some good contact while working with the patients there. They were eager to show those patients, most of whom have spinal cord injuries, the possibility radio holds for quadriplegics and paraplegics. On Saturday the 3rd of December, the Swiss radio amateurs were among a handful of radio groups, including those in Egypt and the UK, who were marking the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Using the special call sign HB9IPHA, the Swiss amateurs worked on 20 metres at 100 watts with a Flex Radio 3000, but were also on VHF and UHF with a Yaesu FT857D. Thomas Huber, HB9FXU, the Switzerland coordinator for the IARU's information programme for handicapped radio amateurs, said in an email that the feedback from the patients, visitors and hospital employees was extremely positive. He told Amateur Radio Newsline that the response was especially encouraging as some participants got on the air for the first time. Thomas said the opportunity for outreach was also gratifying, and next year the Hams plan to do more outreach to disabled men and women throughout Switzerland and get them involved on the air, and not just on one day every year. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
For the rest of this week's Amateur Radio News, please listen to the full Amateur Radio Newsline report online on a repeater near you, or on shortwave radio station WTWW at 9930 and 5085 kilohertz. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at www.arnewsline.org. With Graham Kemp, VK4BB, Ed Durant, DD5LP, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW, 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.